you're in my domain. Got the whole crowd screaming out our name. It's a blowout, it's a hurricane, it's over. Before you know it, we're gonna stand on top with our hands in the sky. Gonna raise our cup to the stadium lights for the glory, for the glory. We celebrate with the city tonight. Hear the hometown cheer, it's the ultimate high. For the glory, we do it for the glory.
Well, looks like we're back here to the 2018 LBS Spring Term. My name's Vulcan. With me is my darling Marco, Atlas, aka Marco. We'll be your shoutcasters entering the set of matches for, I gotta say, I mean, coming from our first match with DLSU and now going against TUP, you gotta hand it to DLSU. Now getting serious.
Yeah, definitely just one game to just warm themselves up. That went pretty badly for them, but then second game they had today, they just bounced back and took everything. But of course, now in our next game, it's going to be two different teams fighting it out. It is going to be Adams University Penguin Authority versus MCL Warlocks.
You know what I think I like about this match? But wait, I think for our viewers out there, before we dwell onto this match, I think I want to show you guys the standings to see maybe a short recap of what happened, a summary of what's been happening throughout our fabulous group stages. Looks like UST is 5-0, same as Bulls 5-1. But one thing here is that you gotta watch out for is the standings in the bottom four, because only the top 6 will move on to the playoffs.
Yeah, and of course DLSU, they've only have 2 games so far. They still have a long way to go just to catch up with the scores of the other top teams we've had. But of course, they are the champions of the LCL, so that's pretty much, they have that going for them. But as for MCL versus Penguin Authority from Adamson, it's going to be quite grueling, because right now, Adu is 2-5,
yeah.
while the opposing team, MCL, is a little bit higher in terms of the standings. So really, it's going to be quite tough for the team to actually get ahead here, but it's crunch time for all these teams. They want to get as many wins as they can as playoffs gets closer and closer.
One thing I want to stress here in this match is that ADU and MCL, they're both at a great spot. Because why did I say great? Because it's going to be a match where it will decide their fate going into the playoff stage, where, okay, ADU, they had fumbles in the first week, and coming succeeding weeks, they did bounce back despite this difficult schedule, yeah? But now for ADU, if they are able to win all their set of matches for today, I think they do have a good chance to be a contender in the playoff stage. But for MCL Warlocks, they did start things for our week 4 in a bad note, because they have yet to secure their win.
Yeah, definitely. So it's quite tough so far for them. But of course, all this is really a test of how in one day, how much can a team adapt, not just to one team, but for others as well. So it's going to be all depending on if MCL has learned from their mistakes from earlier, such as their draft. I think their draft was one of the biggest things that let them down. Let's see if they'll change it up in this game against Adamson University. As for Adamson, like AMA, they're pretty much in the middle of the pack right now in terms of standings. They're still trying to catch up, but I think they can be a serious contender if they prove themselves in this first game they have today, if they can have what it takes to go for this win streak in this week 4.
Definitely, because for MCL, as Atlas said, it's something about standings, and not just the standings that are actually crunch time, but also for our teams playing in our week 4. So I think when it comes to MCL Laguna, but I call it just Laguna Warlocks, do you think when it comes to their standings, because I know for a fact that when MCL, if they cannot win any games for today, that's why I like the match between ADU and MCL, because both teams, different dynamic, different spectrum, because you can expect that ADU, they have a chance of playoff stage, same as Warlocks, but both are at a risk if they don't win any games today, or majority of their games. It's sad to say that I don't think they have a spot in the playoffs.
This is pretty much a turning point for both of these teams. And victory, the chance to get to playoffs is basically mutually exclusive almost for these two teams, and they want to make it good in this important game. Adamson, they don't want to face off against big mid laners come from Stellar, as well as a Tryndamere from MCL, as well as MCL. They block off a lot of the other picks here. They have Irelia, Zed, and Sejuani blocked off against Adamson. Adamson prioritizes the Braum, not revealing too much information just yet. Well, MCL, they go straight for their bot lane, probably going to be the bot lane. It is a Karma and the Jinx, quite potent in laning. And Adamson, they respond to this by not revealing as well too much information. They lock in their bot lane as well, and a very safe pick, Ornn at the top.
Would you look at that, Marco? We're Atlas. We're seeing the fact that on ADU's side, they're banning out majority of their mid pools, the Talia and the Zoe, but for MCL, they know the fact that Irelia mid is a thing. Sometimes in the top lane, they do remove it. But yeah, we're seeing, wow, an Aatrox. You know, I'm pretty excited here because when it comes to the Aatrox, you know that this is a crucial game. And now you're seeing MCL going for an Aatrox pick. This is going to be, I think,
very interesting.
Very interesting. It can go for the Lethal Tempo or Young Conqueror.
Yeah, of course.
But Aatrox is rising in popularity, but very hard to execute.
Definitely, and well, let's go to the second rotation of bans here. LeBlanc and Zac, so a lot of focus on the mid and jungle dynamic here against Adamson. As for Adamson, Morgana and Anivia, these casters, just really annoying. Lots of CC, possible damage as well.
You mean us?
No, as in these mages.
Ah, I thought you meant we're annoying. Maybe we're annoying. But now I think for ADU, they will signal their last pick with the Sarah.
Ooh, Skarner. As for MCL,
a lot of...
Whoa there.
We're seeing a lot of unique picks coming from MCL side. We're seeing the Heimerdinger and the Aatrox, which we don't see normally in competitive.
Okay, they're just going to get into the Alistar. Probably going to be sending the Karma. Yeah, Karma to mid lane here. And it is going to be the Alistar. So they're pretty much banking on that Jinx doing very, very well in the bot lane, and just supporting that will be the Karma and the Alistar, as well as the CC from those two supports will also enable the Aatrox and the Trundle, hopefully for them. As for Adamson, they have a pretty good, well-rounded composition. They have long range all across the board here. So Shiro on the top lane has long range in terms of initiation as well. Jisoo and Simone just have that huge artillery power, and if things get into a rough and tumble, Prodigy has the ability to just get them out of dodge there with his pull.
Of course, for this match, AD will be playing on the blue side with MCL on the red side. So we're seeing the Ornn, the Skarner, very standard picks onto ADU's side. But when it comes to MCL's side, we're seeing the we were about to see the Heimerdinger, but it was a hover. But now it'll be the Aatrox in the top lane, matching it with the Ornn.
This is going to be tough, I think, for Lucis, because yes, Aatrox can have that potential, but in a lot of circles, he's pretty much a meme right here, because it's so easy to disable him, unlike, say, another meme pick like Master Yi that can go for that invincibility frames in his Alpha Strike. Aatrox doesn't have that same tool, and he can easily get shut down by so much CC, by the Ornn, by the Skarner, by the Braum. So I'm very worried if Suzuya cannot enable Lucis, it'll be very tough for him to be relevant in any point of the game.
So this will be a very definitive point for MCL. If they do lose this match, I'm quite sad to say that do they still have the chances? It gets slimmer as they lose, as the week closes by, because we only have 6 weeks in our group stages, guys. So let's see. If you guys want to hope for MCL's win here, let us know the hashtag MCL win. Or if you're hoping that Adamson University Penguin Authority will bag in another win and go on to playoffs and be a contender, let us know in the chat box with hashtag ADUWin. Now on to Summoner's Rift for this match against ADU Penguin Authority on the blue side versus MCL Warlocks on the red side.
Let's see how they play this level 1. Seems like Adamson might be going for something big here, trying to go for a scout onto MCL.
They're going in?
Yeah, it seems like they have already been revealed by the support here.
You gotta be careful here, Atlas, because all of them, the movements of ADU are being scouted out because they have planted Vision Ward. So Warlocks knows that ADU are in the blue side. So I want to see how Penguin Authority will play this out. Looks like they will just scout things here.
It seems like capturing these spiders is one of their focus is here. Just a little bit of power in case Prodigy goes for that.
Look at that team effort. You all get extra gold. 6 gold can mean a lot.
12 gold is going to be the game changer. Just kidding. But it seems like they want to control those areas.
Think of it this way, Atlas. You're commuting with a jeepney and you only have 2 pesos. And you need 8 pesos for you to ride the jeepney. Isn't that 6 pesos a game changer? Sometimes we only need 1 peso to actually buy something and we don't have that single peso. I think our summoners can relate. Mag-relate kayo? So a little slow in the chat box. Or maybe it's just me.
It could come up.
Gago man, Atlas, lagi ako laglag lang ng barya eh.
Oh my
So I always lose my change, I think.
Should probably keep your change there. But of course, here, Adamson versus MCL. Let's see how our junglers actually path this out. Both started in the bottom side. Seems like they want to make a play onto the top side of the map, or perhaps in mid.
Looks like we'll be seeing the Conqueror and the Aatrox faced on. This will be interesting. But when it comes to matchup against an Ornn, that's very difficult. The Bellows Breath has to shield, not to mention the Brittle Stack can actually push back Lucis mid-flight. So this can cancel out his leap.
Let's see though, Suzuya trying to make something happen, but he does get that Skull Crab onto the top side, which is, as I keep stressing, it's so important to try and get that Skull Crab. And I don't think Skarner level 2 can actually face off against Suzuya, especially since he has pressed the attack. So there's no way he can contest that Skull Crab, and that's a huge resource that MCL takes away.
You know, this is great for ADU because I'm kind of confused of the fact that I think for Penguin Authority, they did get the Spire near the Cloud Drake. Shouldn't the Skarner go for that Snorkel then? Ooh. Okay. Skarner joining in. Lucis does have to pass the fully stack, but he should know that the Skarner, Prodigy, is in the scene here. Does back off, was spotted by the shrine in the river. He's not giving up just yet. Okay.
They do want this, but it doesn't seem like it's a safe option right now, even if Lucis is so low in terms of health.
There we go.
You don't really want to dive that too deeply right away, and he gets revealed as well.
That's a good thing for MCL Warlocks. They know where the enemy is, and that's enough. I mean, guys, we all know that when it comes to ganks, it's easy to prevent them when you have control wards or wards, something that I don't do. So take it from me, learn it the hard way.
Do as he says,
like
not as he does.
literally, the hardest way you can learn is being 0-5 in 10 minutes, because the jungler is just making you his play chew toy.
That's so sad.
Yeah, I know.
But here in terms of this game, it seems like the jungle, Suzuya is taking control over most of it, taking away 2 Scuttle Crabs already. The first Scuttle Crabs are actually very crucial here, and Prodigy has missed out on both of them, and now he's cleared out most of his topside jungle, failed,
Here it comes.
Didn't go for a good gank topside, and what now?
He got stunned there. Prodigy going in with the Predator. Can he do something? No.
Not really. They didn't go too hard on that, so Prodigy couldn't go for a hard counter gank right there. So now he's still looking for things to do. Meanwhile, Suzuya already got a lot of information from both the Scuttle Crabs as well as the gold and XP, and right here just in time to clear more of his own jungle. So Suzuya winning out a little bit early there.
This is okay when it comes to the gank in the mid lane because no summoners were burned, not even a flash or a barrier. So GC didn't really lose anything there, and what did Suzuya gain? Nothing to, because he was trying to go for maybe burning the summoner spell. Yeah, but we know ADU, they know how to hold on to their spells and not make it a waste.
Let's see how all of that reacts right after that.
So, most of the time we're just gonna see this lane being played out. I mean, expected naman to sa Meta Nav because we know that when it comes to priority, the mid lane is very important. And Karma and Xerath, they're even match in a way. Well,
Very even.
You could say to a point, but Xerath does have a more powerful range, obviously.
Definitely. It is manifesting here.
Yep.
As well as just has revive there.
Bad.
Can he fly over?
He does fly over, but then he's in creep range. He can stack some health up. Okay. We don't see any junglers on the top lane side. Looks like no one will wrap up the kill for ADU because Lucis will safely back off.
Shiro needs to come back to his lane, clear that wave though. He could go for a back here. Stellar, pretty behind in CS, even though power level wise they aren't that far apart. The fact that GC just has that range and has the mana sustain as well naturally from his passive. Stellar just needs to be backing more, needs to use his teleport, and just a little bit harder for him to get mid priority.
This is great because we know that Jizzy has 53 CS over this Karma, and first back was able to get some great items, especially the Lost Chapter. The Karma doesn't have that, so expect that Jizzy really will control his mid lane. I mean, has better poke, great range, more damage, and mana sustain to boot. So MCL in the mid lane, Stellar has to be careful how he will play around the mid lane because Jizzy does have the Lost Chapter and does have a lot of CS ahead of this Karma.
Yeah, pretty much all he needs to do is just survive this. He doesn't really need to go for big kills against Jizzy.
Just outpush.
Yeah, as long as he keeps mid priority enough that Jizzy can't roam around or do something crazy. That means he did his job. All he needs to do is survive and then enable Chaser later in the game. Coming to his boss side, not a lot of action here. Pretty much dead even in terms of CS between Chaser and Simone.
But you know what, guys? I think I saw Shiro in the mid lane. He was trying to do something, maybe call the Forge God, set up the kill for Jizzy, but that didn't happen. At least we're seeing Pagan Authority. I mean, at least we're seeing some action. I mean, the initiative from these guys. So, looks like MCL, they're starting to Cloud Drake and ADU. I don't think they know what's happening here, but they know
they do have bot priority, so this is pretty much free for them. Even though Jizzy pushes in Stellar, the fact is Chaser and his support right here outnumber if Jizzy reports on his own, as well as Prodigy being on the other side of the map, so that is a free Cloud Drake. Could be very useful if Suzuyo and Stellar want to roam. Seems like that is the case here. Still, Luce is still having quite a bit of trouble fighting it out against Shiro, dead even in CS. However, he can't get too far ahead in terms of the lane because Prodigy might take him down. Chaser
going to jump in. There was a pulverize to knock up the two members of ADC. Simone is low, ignite up, and there's the first blood. Played by the Warlocks as the Braum trying to back away does flash away to safety.
That was pretty overzealous there by Simone. Really just jumping in on an Alistar. Even if you did get the concussive blows on that, it's much too risky to get into headbutt range, pulverize range as well. So that was pretty over-aggressive coming from Adamson.
Okay, they're going for a tower dive here.
Seems like they might try and go for it.
That's Puppy unbreakable. So
that delays a lot of damage. They still have priority over this bot lane. Cadenza still waiting for more experience to maybe get his own ultimate back up. Could get that fighting chance.
Okay, looks like we're seeing some action in the Riverside, and nothing happened here in the bot lane. So, not the fact that for the tower dive didn't succeed into Warlock's favor, but hey, now Lucius is getting taste of it more medicine, getting tower dive here.
Man.
Oh my god, look at Shiro with the confidence. Execute! Oh, with choke down that potion, he does survive.
Very clever to actually break his own pillar because he would have been creep blocked all the way to hell right there. But yeah, that's really the trouble you have with an Aatrox pick against someone like Ornn here. It's very hard to get any kill pressure, and if you're not ahead as this Aatrox, it's very difficult actually to be relevant. Even if you have that mad sustain, the fact is Shiro is able to solo kill him.
He has to be careful because, yeah, the fact that the Ornn can solo kill the Aatrox is very squishy, without a doubt. I mean, you have to be careful where you use to regenerate more health, and the fact that a lot of timing is required to use the Aatrox, but Shiro can just quickly deny it with the Bellows Breath. Riddle stacks up,
pretty much.
just heat him up, and that's it, free kill. Like what we saw in the top lane. So, kill score, guys, is 1-1, nearing the 10-minute mark. No one is leading in kill and gold that much.
Yeah,
but
that much.
Yeah, but the next Drake is Infernal, so expect something to happen in the bot side, because everyone wants the Infernal.
Yeah, that's pretty much a very important Drake here. Especially, ooh, Prodigy might be in a little bit of trouble.
It's okay, he's near the Spire, so he gets the speed boost. So Ice Pillar was used there. They're really making some room here in the Infernal Drake area. They want it for themselves.
They want control over the air. Once it spawns, MCL will be a little bit of a disadvantage because Lucis does not have his own teleport, so they're going to have to rely on Lucis pushing in Shiro in this lane. Now that he has Tiamat, he can match the push that Shiro brings to the table, but he still cannot duel him too much. He can go for short-term trades, try and go for that and rely on his sustain, but it's still very difficult for him to actually out-trade Shiro consistently. He really needs to rely on his regeneration and his lifesteal.
Definitely, because Pagan Authority in the top lane side, it's pretty much a dead matchup because if ever Lucis does get a bit too greedy, he will pay the price. Like what we saw in the top lane. Give a kill to the Ornn. So, okay.
Ooh, teleport play.
I want to watch for Shiro. How are we going to use the fortune? Oh, great job, but it did not connect to Shiro. They're free to go on to Shui. Here comes the Forge God. Major in place. What a great engage from EU. 3-man knock up there, but not enough damage. MCL fighting back strong to Zhu. It takes down Sedenza. Now there's the barrage coming in from the Zep. No kill secure yet from their side, but in the end, it will be Prodigy. A lot here. Flare does flash away. Oh, gets him suppressed down, and that's gonna be Chaser. Down for the count. Simone gets the reset now onto Stellar.
Seems like it's just gonna be a 1-for-1 at this point. That is the cost, however. Lucis has a lot of priority top lane, but Adamson, they want to contest this. They want to push this in and get the first turret of the game. But Stellar and Shuhi, they are pretty low in terms of HP. They can get poked out, but Lucis definitely gets that first turret of the game for MCL.
Okay, that will be the first turret going to the Warlocks, but can ADU go for more here? Members of MCL are quite low, but the tower still stands in the bot lane. Okay,
Lucis try and fight it out.
Going for a back and forth fight here. Lucis, what are you going to do there? Looks like in the bot lane, though, the action. Still goes on for Trundle. What a combo coming from the squad. Simon picks up the kill. Shui gets the heal there, and Sayang talaga yung unbreakable ni Bram. Oh, was gonna block the rockets, but now Chaser trying to get some kills for himself. Wanted to go for the resets. Didn't happen.
Pretty messy across the board there. It seems like it still ends up pretty even in terms of kills. So that actually doesn't amount to too much. Chaser does get a little bit of a priority here in bot side. Ooh, cancels the recall.
Doesn't want to go in. Flash in from Sui. Will pay a heavy price. Pops. Okay, he's pretty much there. Looks like Sedenza is going to get a free kill, and that will be... Oh, Chaser going for the resets. Can he take down Sedenza?
He does have the fleet footwork, but once he gets that concussive blows...
Last stack, the stun, he does flash away. One more rocket hit, here it comes. Sedenza's low, gets slow, but Ice Pillar goes for the flash over the wall. And there comes Simone for the rescue. Gets the resets now onto the Trundle. Predator has been popped by the scorer. Can they chase down the Trundle? No, they go for a disengage.
Way too risky there by MCL, committing so hard onto Cadenza that he almost had it. However, it seems like Adamson University's support there had his own team to back him up, and that is just unfortunate for MCL. They could have just gone for some turret damage, but going for the kill there was so risky, and here Simone gets the priority. He's able to blow this turret up with the minions in tow. And that is just in favor of Adamson right there.
So looks like for ADU, they will pick up their second turret. Rather, the first turret for now. Now the Infernal Drake is live.
They really do want this. This is an important thing, especially in this level, just the collegiate level. The Infernal Drake matters so much more than other Drakes can, actually.
And now we're seeing...
It's just raw stats.
Yeah, raw stats, that's what they want. And ADU, they did call dibs for the Spire, so that Prodigy does have home court advantage.
Herald, I heard Herald getting taken down.
I think it'll respawn.
Rather, it's gonna spawn, rather.
No, actually Lucis took down the Herald. The Aya is on his stock inventory. Now we're seeing ADU. They know the Herald has been taken away. Starts the Inferno. Teleport is coming in here. Vision and Fortuna. Here comes. Everyone is funneled in for ADU to just knock them down. MCL is now backing up, leaving behind the two tanks to phrase check them for his team. Now here comes Lucis going in hard. Goes a bit too greedy there. Gets taken down by Prodigy.
Man, that is such a bad spot for MCL to fight in. They try and contest that Drake. However, being in that funneled choke point right there, that's just the dream. That's where Cadenza and Shiro want you. And in that tight spot, Jissy has a much easier shot at taking everyone out with his skill shots. And there, everything pays off for Adamson. They were able to get the Drake. They get power in this mid lane. They can possibly take this out. MCL is going to try and fight back.
Overrise combo connects on the Prodigy. Alistar does want to make some things work here, and I gotta love JC's poke with the Xerath.
However...
I mean, Atlas, we're seeing here, when it comes to Infernal Drake going to pick an authority, this is just great. I mean, Xerath with extra raw stats, that's what you need. I mean, clean damage.
As well as Simone, he really appreciates having that little bit more of damage to make it so that the power spike for that Tristana comes a little bit smoother for him. Now MCL, they want this mid lane.
Yes, they're pushing in 4 members strong. But one thing that's worth noting here is that if Penguin Authority does take away the Mountain Drake, that's just going to make it harder for MCL to defend against Simone when the Tristana is just chipping down those towers.
Definitely. It's going to be very troublesome for MCL if they lose that, but it's not going to be their problem for the next few minutes. All they really want to do right now is shove in the waves, possibly get something bot lane, because that outer turret is still up. They could possibly make a move on it, but they are being pressured mid lane just because that turret is so low in health.
I mean, they don't want to give it away. They want at least the control they have in this game here. But we know that Lucis took down the first turret, yes? Now he has the Eye of the Herald. I want to see how he's going to use it, but he can not overextend here.
Yeah, possibly he might be using it in bot lane. Shiro could possibly try and stop his efforts here, but he is going to use it here. This is going to be instantly taking the turret down.
He's stalling.
He's stalling so hard.
But he can't really stop it. It's like the bot lane has been destroyed. Lucis won't stop just there. Mid lane looks busy, so we know he feels confident here.
Let's see. It seems like Adamson is trusting Shiro to stop the Rift Herald. So they're making moves in mid lane. See that? There's so much pressure. So many members trying and taking down those mid lane turrets in MCL's side.
Here it comes. That's quite a lot of damage being dealt to the towers here. Looks like Lucis will be happy with that. Backs away. Mid lane, however, ADU now going for the counter here. Here it comes. They're just sieging, and they cannot deal with that damage coming from Xerath.
Yeah, Prodigy backs off there, possibly try and intercept Lucis, but doesn't seem like he goes in that direction. Prodigy seems like he's just going to back off here.
So now the next Drake is the Mountain Drake. As I stressed before, they want this Mountain Drake. In the next Baron, or rather the Baron, that will spawn in 1 minute and 47 seconds. I mean, ADU, if they get the Mountain Drake, that's going to help them even more going for the Baron.
Yeah, both of these teams can possibly take down Baron very quickly if they get a Mountain Drake with how their compositions are well, composed of. But here it seems like a lot of them are focusing on taking down these outer turrets. Simone, very good on that turret destruction.
Teller was there for the slow. Can we expect an engage from ADU? Because the tower is quite low.
Seems like they really want to take this down. Just a few hits more. Teleport coming in from Stellar. They want to make something happen here topside, or at least defend any further push coming from Adamson. It seems like it's keeping them a little bit at bay.
I mean, we are seeing Shiro making his way towards the top lane side. Okay, they will just safely back off.
This is a dangerous spot if they ever fight here. The Spire is in control of Adamson, so it seems like they're just going to go mid lane.
I mean, when it comes to ADU, they're going for the overall, just get the turrets, let's get out. They don't want to go for team fights just yet because they're just waiting for this Jing. They're just waiting for this Tristana to just stack up the IE. And after that, I think they can just go ham.
And once they actually go ham, that's going to be long-range onslaught coming in from Simone, so they have to be absolutely careful.
Oh, see,
go for Shiro.
Uses the combo here, calls the Force God. 4-member knockup, 3-member colliding there, and Jesse poking down Stellar onto Chaser. Prodigy flashed in, could not take down Chaser. That's going to be a lot of damage done by Simon. That's the reason. Now onto Stellar. Does cleanse away. Onto the Trundles. Suzuya's in now. Double kill for Simon. Pushes the main with a buzzer jump. Onto Aatrox. He's popped the passive. Chaser now going in for the flash in. Does pay the price here. And Simon for the wipeout with the triple.
Ace onto MCL after that mistake of trying to go for Shiro, one of the tankiest members of Adamson's team. They get turned around on, and Adamson is going to use this opportunity to push this deep and hard, possibly onto the turret that don't have enough of a wave here, and actually the respawn timers are not that long. But here, this is where they screwed up. They try and go for Shiro, they commit to it, but this is just setting them up all for the Call of the Forge God. That's a 3-man stun and knockup here. And since Stellar and Chaser have to run away, they leave their support and their jungler Suzuya to death. And all that time, Lucis was not around the corner. He did not have his own teleport up. He was going to top side. I don't know why they tried even a little bit of commitment onto Shiro there. There's just no reason for them to go for that harassment onto the Ornn. And that cost him so much.
That's a lot of casualties for MCL. Really going in for Shiro, but does not work in their favor.
Yeah.
Now, like I said before, Atlas Young, Mountain Drake just spawned right now. Know that the Baron buff is still live, so I want to see how Penguin Authority will play this out with MCL. They have to have second thoughts before going into full
Now
plan.
Adamson is truly in the lead here. Oh, it's going to be another fight.
Okay, they do have spike control here, but they don't care. Fortune coming in, plus just on the side, poking down the frontal. They remove Suzuya, and what a fissure! Lucky for members, they're all slowed down. And the blue side, that's gonna be Simone getting the kill onto Aatrox, goes for the reset, onto Shui, forcing out his flash.
Man, Simone just entrenched behind the blue buff right there, shooting them without any disturbance. Just takes out two members of MCL. Once again, Adamson gets himself in a spot where Shiro just wants them to be. Man, right now, as I'm saying, Adamson is just clearly in the lead now, not just in terms of the gold and the Drakes, but also in the power spike. That fight earlier in mid lane, okay, let's break this down one first. They try and go for Prodigy. I don't know why. They don't have enough vision on that side, so this just sets them up to be sandwiched three ways here. And this is just such a good choke point. Look at that. Glacial Fissure. Simone just freely hitting whoever he pleases in the front line. And Shiro's such a good tank in this, in the middle of the fight, that they can't really break through him.
Like that clash happening for ADU. I mean, we saw the Fissure slowing the members down, just on the side, and wow, what a place to be for an ADC, over a wall with no one on your back. That's just the dream.
Yeah, no one's hounding him there. And this all came from that mess up that MCL had in the mid lane, going for Shiro. All that snowballed into Simone getting a triple kill. And then Simone got another kill and more assists in that fight in the blue buff side of MCL. And now, because Prodigy is in the game as Karner, pretty much Chaser is forced to go QSS, so is Stellar. So these two laners that they have are pretty much behind in items because they're forced to go for this QSS. So at this point, Jissy and Simone are around 1,300 gold ahead of Stellar and Chaser.
Yeah, when it comes to that, it's really a hard place for any team to be at. And Warlocks, I want to see them try and make do with what they have, because we don't see that much of a 10k gold lead just yet.
Ooh, they're going for the call here.
Yeah,
That's definitely Adamson pulling the trigger here.
Jesus Christ, this is gonna be a disaster for Warlocks. Teleport has been tunneled in by Shiro.
They can't really contest this. It's going down so fast.
Well, I thought it's free Baron going to bring an authority. Shiro trying to make something here.
They are going to go and siege this mid lane, but possibly they...
Alright.
Yeah, Cadenza really needs to recover his HP, spend the gold that they've accumulated a bit, and then go for the siege onto these turrets. It's going to be grueling for MCL. They will need to get all of their wave clear into this. They need rockets from Chaser. They need soul flares and inner fires from Stellar. That's really going to be difficult, though, because of the Baron buff, making these guys resistant to that AoE damage.
Definitely, and not to mention, Jissy will just quickly clear out the waves, so it'll be difficult to even just stall the lane. They're gonna hurt a lot, and that may just set up everything for Penguin Authority if MCL, they don't do something about it here, because they're being pressured in the mid and the bot lane.
It's pretty difficult, because even if MCL gets a good jump onto Adamson, where they have the surprise, they have the numbers advantage, the thing is their carries don't have the same gold value in terms of raw stats for Adamson as Adamson Universities, because Adamson, they're pretty much around 1,500 gold ahead in terms of Jissy and Simone. Stellar and Chaser, they have to go for that defensive item. So here, Adamson using that advantage to pull the trigger on two different lanes. A war on two fronts here for MCL, very, very difficult.
They did manage to block out Suzuya and Lucis from defending their bot lane, but Cadenza and Simone still wailing in the mid lane.
So far, MCL doing decently, but these turrets are going down very quickly.
The cannon minions are doing the thing here. Oh, Chaser being burst down here. Calls for the fortune gun. Initiate from Shiro. does reconnect it onto the Jinx. They're sniping Chaser. Chaser dodging the shots. Chaser's alive, but outside of the fight, Jizzy will just get and clean things up. Chaser is not going in here, as Simone will be the one to clear things up here, but Jizzy will be the one to clean up the fight with a double kill there. Chaser taking the damage, and can he do something? He's on to Prodigy. He does survive with a W there. Sui going in on to Jizzy. It missed. Instantly just gets melted down by the blast from the Sarah. The shield going in for the knockup onto Chaser. One more skill shot there. One more hit onto Chaser. He will be down. He needs to survive if they want to defend the incoming wave. Stellar's no one hit. One more step there. Thankfully, the shield and the speed boost for the save, Atlas.
Adamson was in such a danger spot there. Chaser could have wiped them out if they weren't careful. But I think that fight could have gone way better for Adamson. I think the fight started going south for them when Simone jumped in over the wall. He could have just walked around the wall into the entrance of the base, but instead he jumps in. MCL it's telegraphed by him. MCL jumps on him as soon as he can. He survives for the first few seconds. However, it's like this. They're going for push for his turret. That's good for them. Shiro going for the disruption. But here, Simone jumps over instead of just walking around. Instantly, he gets chunked down, and he survives for a little while longer. But from full health, he became 25%. He jumps in once again here and gets jumped by the Alistar here. And Simone gets taken out. He could have played that much better to wipe out MCL completely. But here, it leaves Chaser with enough room and space for himself that he doesn't get destroyed here.
Oh yeah, one more skill shot there from Chaser. It will have been a kill for Jizzy. So,
man,
Warlocks now having a type spot. They need to focus on who to go for, because at this point, guys, for Penguin Authority, they have what it takes to end the game. It's a matter of time, because this will be the second Mountain Drake going towards Penguin Authority uncontested.
Yeah, that's going to be such huge damage on these turrets and inhibitors. And they have to be careful, though. Adamson needs to be able to position themselves well, especially Simone. If he makes reckless mistakes like that, where it's so easy for him to get jumped on by Shuhi, that could be a death sentence. Even with this 9k gold deficit that MCL has, they have to be absolutely careful, because Chaser, even with the deficit he has against Simone, he can still deal a lot of damage. He already has his IE and his Renance and another Zeal.
He needs to be careful, because members of Warlocks cannot group up like what happened in the top lane. They will just get chunked down by Jizzy. Now ADU. 4 or 5 members strong in the bot lane, letting the minions crash in the bot lane. They're going in for the second inhibitor turret standing. That's taken down, and they stop. Inhibitor is the focus for ADU. Predator has been popped by Prodigy, going in for an engage, aiming for Chaser. At this point, Penguin Authority, they need to be careful. They're trying their best to poke down Jinx. Now, this will be the last inhibitor taken down by ADU.
Oh man.
Forge God coming in here. All the focus onto Chaser. Slowed down by the finisher. He does survive for now. Can he retaliate? He's pushing on the members, but Jizzy again with a skill shot. And Simone onto Shui. Resets here. Double kill there. One more shot would have been the triple. He goes for the flash. And the snipe from Jizzy will finish things off here. And triple kill. And the reset coming from Simone.
This is game
for Chaser. What a game, Atlas, because the Warlocks had what they were going for a defense of the Chaser. Did not work in plan. But Penguin Authority just opened up the defense. This is going to be ADU taking away our match.
Once again, MCL failing to show up here. Even with their unorthodox picks, it is not working out for them. Adamson takes away this game from them.
GG, well played to both teams here, and congratulations to ADU Penguin Authority for winning this match against MCL Warlocks. What a great way for ADU to start things off here, entering the week 4. They are in a contending spot for the playoffs. They need to try and win majority of the games to have a good, solid chance.
Man, and that's still so tough here for MCL Warlocks. We've been talking about how they need to fix up how they draft here, and I know having that unique flavor in terms of how you draft and play is good and all, but the Aatrox brought nothing to the table. pretty much the entire game. In the pre-fight, he brings nothing to the table. He can't jump in. In the actual fight, he keeps getting blocked by Shiro from going anywhere useful. And I think that's one big factor on how and why MCL just lost that so badly. If they had picked another better top laner, if they wanted to carry top laner, there were so many other better options. And if they had picked that, maybe their AD carry could have been more enabled. Maybe he could have had more space to be safe, just because there's another threat on their side. But because they didn't, and because overall they didn't really play too well against how Adamson was using their aggression against them, it just ended up them being beat down.
Yeah, and this is the perfect time to say that because something is unique, Atlas, doesn't mean it works. So it's going to be a sad match for MCL, but a great win for ADU Bacon Authority. So I guess this is me, Vulcan, and Atlas signing off here. Thank you so much for watching the 2018 LVL Spring Tier. We hope that you still tune in because next match would be Bulacan State University goes to X versus De La Salle University. Veritas Arcus, something I think you guys
And that's going to be really exciting.
It's going to be Bulsu and DLSU, two new coming teams. And that's something you guys want to watch out for and can determine the standings. See you there. I want to watch for Shiro. How are we going to use the fortune? Oh, great job, but it did not connect to Shiro. They're free to go on to Shumi. Here comes the Forge God. Major in place. What a great engage from ADU. 3-man knock up there, but not enough damage. MCL fighting back strong. Suzuya takes down Sadanza. Now there's the barrage coming in from the Zep. No kill secure yet from their side, but in the end, it will be Prodigy. Hold on here. Daryl does crush away. Oh, gets him suppressed down, and that's going to be Chaser. Down for the count. Simone gets the reset. And Force here comes. Everyone is funneled in for ADU to just knock them down. MCL is now backing up, leaving behind the two decks to face check them for his team. Now here comes Lucius going in hard. Goes a bit too greedy there. Gets taken out by
Go for Shiro.
Uses the combo here. Calls the Force God. 4-member knockup. 3-member colliding there. And Jesse poking down Stellar. Onto Chaser. Prodigy flashed in. Could not take down Chaser. That's going to be a lot of damage done by Simon. That's the reason. Now onto Stellar. Does cleanse away. Onto the Trundle. Suzuya's in now. Double kill for Simon. Pushes the main with a buzzer jump. Onto Atox. He pops the passive. Chaser now going in for the flash. Does pay the price here. And Simon for the wipeout with the triple.
Oh, it's going to be another fight.
Okay, they do have spike control here, but they don't care. Fortune coming in. Plus just the other side, poking down the Trundle. They remove Suzuya. And what a fissure. Knocking 4 members. They're all slowed down. In the blue side, that's going to be Simone getting the kill onto Ajax, goes for the reset, onto Shuey, forcing out his Fortune initiate from Shiro. Does reconnected onto the Jinx. They're sniping Chaser. Chaser dodging the shots. Chaser's alive, but outside of the fight, Jesse will just get and clean things up. Chaser is not going in here, as Simone will be the one to clear things up here, but Jesse will be the one to clean up the fight with a double kill there. Chaser taking the damage, and can he do something there? He's on to Prodigy. He does survive with a W there. Siri going in on to Jesse. It missed. Instantly just gets melted down by the blast from the Sarah. The shield going forward, the knockup onto Chaser. One more skill shot there. One more hit onto Chaser. He will be down. He needs to survive if they want to defend the incoming wave. Stellar's no one hit. One more step there, thankfully. Forge God coming in here. All the focus onto Chaser. Slowed down by the fissure. He does survive for now. Can he retaliate? He's pushing on the members, but Jesse again with a skill shot. And Simone onto Shui. Resets here. Double kill there. One more chunk would have been the triple. He goes for the flash. And the snipe from Jesse will finish things off here. And triple kill. And the reset coming from Simone.
This is game
for Chaser. What a game, Atlas, because the Warlocks had what they were going for. The defense of the Chaser did not work in plan. The Bacon Authority just opened up the defense. This is going to be ADU taking away our match.
Once again, MCL failing to show up here. Even with their unorthodox picks, it is not working out for them. Adamson takes away this game from them.
GG well played to both teams here, and congratulations.